All right. So every now and then you get a chance to chop it up with Brandon Karpeles. He's freezing his dinkers off over in Chicago right about now. What is it, like 20 below zero wind chill?
That's this weekend. And right
Oh,
now
that's
it's a balmy like 13 wind chill. So
oh, you got 13 wind chill. I'll be honest with you. I lived in Chicago most of my life, and when I moved to Vegas and the West Coast, I just needed to get away from the winters. Not because of the chilling cold, which was part of the reason, but because the lack of sunshine. I needed like the sun. Like the sun is out here today. I craved the sun,
it is
and
brutal.
yeah,
No,
for
the
like
no
six
sun is
months,
brutal.
no sun. And then like when I saw this weekend what the weather's going to be like, I'm like, fuck yeah, I don't live there anymore.
Yeah, it is. That is definitely the hardest part. It's one of those things where if I even see the sun, I'm like, all right, I'm going outside for 15 minutes. I don't even care how cold it is. Just like let it hit my face for for those brief opportunities. And it's the one time a year I do take a supplement of any kind. I got to take a little extra vitamin D. Otherwise, I get like depressed and angry and agitated and stuff if I don't. So that was a failed experiment trying not to do that. So
Well, I will tell you this. Chicago 10, 15 years ago when I was there is a great city, great food places, great Italian joints. But I visited it on and off over the last 10, 15 years, Chicago, the actual city. And I'll be honest with you, it's cuckoo now. Like, I don't know what's going on. I rented an Airbnb for me and my staff when we went to an event, and we rented it in Pilsen, which used to be like a decent neighborhood. And at 4:30 in the morning, I got up early, time difference, whatever. I had an early start to the day. Made a black cup of coffee. You got to drink your coffee black. It's a good way to get it down your throat. And literally, I'm sitting there on the porch, and some black guy shoots a white guy from the burbs who had $3,000 cash on him and drove all the way from the burbs to buy some sort of drug, whether it was fentanyl or heroin. The cop said it was heroin. And like I heard all six, he unloaded the whole clip, bang, 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 six shots. I ran back in the house, came outside to see what was going to go on, and like hour later, plus we had to get an Uber and get to the event. And cops like come, hey, did you see anything? I'm like, fuck yeah, I saw everything. What are you talking about? And he's like, well, what happened? I said, black guy shot white guy dead, black guy ran. I ran inside with my cup of coffee. He goes, why? I said, I didn't want him to shoot my coffee. Are you kidding me, man? I care deeply about this cup of coffee.
plus it would burn me. So
Exactly. It was like, I mean, one thing, okay, so I said this today also. I made coffee today. Now, I like making coffee out of a French press. But after I put the hot water in and I French press it, I put it in a cup and then I nuke the cup a little bit. Because I want my coffee, I want it hot. Like the lady that spilled her McDonald's coffee in her lap, in her like in between her legs and won that lawsuit. I actually think that's exactly the way you should drink your coffee. I want it that fucking hot. I want it so hot that I can only sip a little bit at a time.
is your
And
is your
when I was
tongue
there,
just like sandpaper at this point?
it's not sandpaper, but I can tell you this: it's one of those things when I add like a little bit of uh, like cream, but I get the flavored cream, zero sugar, some sort of like caramel or chocolate flavor. When I add just a little bit, and it just takes the edge off the dark black coffee, or if I just drink it black, I don't know what it is, but the smell of coffee when it's hot, that smell that goes into your nose, and it just smells so fucking good in the morning. And I'm not kidding you. Like if I get a cup of coffee somewhere, like Starbucks or whatever, shout out to the shittiest coffee shop on the planet, and they give me coffee, and it's not fucking hot, I get pissed off. I'm like, God, you got one job to do. It's hot coffee, and it's just like I love hot coffee.
Yeah,
So
I do. I do too.
I was
I
actually
don't.
seriously protecting that hot cup of coffee when I ran in the house.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need it scalding, but I do like it hot. Definitely anything lukewarm or kind of hot, no
No,
good. I agree. It's got to
no,
be hot, hot.
lukewarm.
But
It's not even coffee anymore. I don't even know what it is. I think it's just dark
yeah,
water.
yeah. It's been unfortunate living in Chicago. I declared 2015 peak Chicago. That was the best time to ever live in the city. That was before this rash of insane mayors took over and all the sort of insane, crazy policies and totally just bending over for the teachers' union started to take place. The city used to just run like a business. Like it was just it operationally
Well, it used to
functioned.
run like a business until all the
Yeah.
businesses ran out of there. Like
Well, exactly.
my
We had all
buddies in
these.
commercial real estate, and I saw some of the buildings that have sold recently, and they lost like $50 million in value because they've got 70% unoccupied. And the city just passed like their tax bill, and they actually cut the real estate taxes on commercial buildings, but raised it on the citizens. And the reason why they cut it is because there's nobody in the buildings; they're all gone.
My tax bill went up like 40% this year. My property tax bill, just
Where are you at?
absolute
What part of?
criminal. I'm in the Uptown area, which is about a mile north of Wrigley Field.
Okay, so I know Wrigley Field. What cross streets?
So I'm up. I'm between Broadway and Sheridan on Lawrence.
I know Broadway. Oh, I know. Wait, Broadway and Sheridan. They don't intersect. They go parallel.
No, I'm between them.
Oh,
On
got it.
Lawrence.
What's the cross street?
Lawrence. I'm right by the
Oh,
area.
I know where you're at.
Yeah.
You're by all the sex toys. There's like a whole thing on. I want to say Broadway. There's like about 7 sex toy stores up in that street, or at least.
Yeah, you got to go farther north, but yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I don't think I'll tell you that story now, but I'll save that for another podcast I do called Uncensored. But yeah, interesting story about driving up Broadway one day. Girl had to stop real quick and run into a sex store, and that was interesting. But yeah, I know that area used to be really nice. I don't know what's going on now, but like for your real estate taxes, like here's the crazy thing: Illinois just passed California in real estate pricing for their taxes, which is unbelievable because you don't have the ocean. You don't even have like all the nice stuff that California has.
No, we have the lake, but it's winter here too, so you don't get to use it year round. And yeah.
Well, the lake is nice, but
yeah,
have you ever gone into the lake to swim?
all the time. Yeah, I live very close to the lake, so we go to the beach all the time.
Because I'll be honest with you, the lake, they should clean the lake. Like there's sharp stuff in the water as you're walking out, and this was at least when I was out there. And you got to wear shoes when you go out into the lake.
We're up on Montrose Beach, Foster Beach, or even Hollywood Beach, and they're pretty well taken care of. Actually, I haven't had those issues. But Oak Beach, North Avenue Beach, I could imagine those might be a little.
If you go
dicey.
further south, I remember the old. Well, actually, it's not old; it's still there. The Science Museum.
Yeah, Burnham Harbor and all that.
Yeah, so we went in that lake one time, and it was like. Yeah, it was bad. Like it was super bad. But luckily, I had shoes on at the time because, to be honest with you, I didn't feel like taking them off. And yeah, I learned that lesson in Hawaii. By the way, if you go to Hawaii and you go to, it's called Turtle Bay. You ever hear of Turtle Bay?
I have heard of it, but I couldn't point it to it on a map.
Okay, so you know how Hawaii is actually an island that was formed by a volcanic rock, like by volcanoes?
Yeah.
Well, like an idiot here, I went surfing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to learn how to surf. So I went surfing in the Turtle Bay. But when I went out there, the instructor said, absolutely positively, make sure you go towards the sand. Do not go to the right side. Do not go to the right side. I'm thinking, I got this, buddy. I'm a surfer today. It was my first time on a board. So like we're belly surfing. I can't even like stand up on the stupid thing. But he's like, hey, just get comfortable with the board. Just belly surf. And I'm belly surfing. And like we caught a good wave. Like I had like a 5-footer, 6-footer, which by the way, I know is a small wave, but it was a good wave for me. I was loving it. I was like, fuck, this is awesome. But all of a sudden, like, my weight was going to the right too much. And like I'm veering off to the right. And I'm like, no worries. I mean, what does he know? What does he know? It's just a little to the right. So as I'm coming up, I see all this black stuff. And that's actually like lava rocks. But here's the crazy thing. Have you ever seen a lava rock before?
Sure. Yeah.
Like it's like fucking razor blades.
Yep.
It's literally like fucking razor blades, like black razor blades.
Yeah.
So he's been screaming the whole time. And I'm thinking, okay, how can I just back up this thing? How do I? There's no backing up on a surfboard. Just so you know, when you come in, there is no reverse. There's no guidance on that thing whatsoever. You're screwed. So he's like, just jump off. I'm like, fuck, this is such a bad idea. So I jump off the board like 5-6 feet before the black stuff. Little did I know, the black stuff was way down here, and I'm 6'1". So I'm stepping all over the black stuff, leaning on the board. Finally, I just get into the sand area again. My feet were cut up like crazy. I had to get bandages. Spent the rest of my fucking trip like looking like the retard that had his feet all bandaged up because he stepped on on black like lava rock. So little message to everybody: protect your feet. Don't go off to the right. If there's lava rocks to the right, avoid the lava rocks.
I always bring my Tivas. So
Your what?
wherever I'm, my Tivas, they're like sandals with straps on them. So
Okay,
they're
those
not
are
like,
good.
yeah, they're not full shoes, but they protect the bottoms of your feet
Are
and they
those the
stay
ones where
on.
your toes? It's like your toes in them.
No, those are they got they basically you put your toes into a strap and then there's a strap on the side and then a strap behind your heel and then a strap over the top of
Highly
your
recommend
ankle.
that always when
Yeah,
surfing. Yes, those would be awesome. For
yeah.
me, I had no SIVOs. I had feet, and I learned the lesson the hard way. Guy says don't go to the right. Just don't go to the right. Just avoid the right. By the way, just so we're clear, surfing is truly meant for people that are somewhat athletic. Which in my world, I'm just going to be honest. I'm not athletic enough to surf. I
I've
thought I was. Huh?
never been surfing,
I'll
but
be honest with you.
yeah.
So here in Vegas, my buddy does what's called wake surfing, where he surfs behind a boat, and the boat makes the wave for him. And I don't even know how it works. Like I know scientifically it works for him, but I'm looking at it and I'm going, how the fuck does he not just like veer off to the right? But he like surfs behind the boat, and literally no string attached. He literally surfs, and like he's been trying to get me out there. I'm like, listen, I had my surfing time in life. I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to do that extremely well.
Yeah, it's been one of those things, there's no real place for me to do it. I never really had the opportunity, and it's kind of just I'm 42 now, and it's like time of my life that seems to
Dude,
have
you're
passed
fucking
me
a
by.
kid, man. 42,
So
you're a kid. You're a kid.
I don't know. I don't know how many 42-year-olds try to learn surfing, but probably not going to be me.
Well, I will tell you this. I am so glad we're talking today because I got so many questions about Mount Gox.
I'll
How
see
many
what I
times
can
did that come up
answer.
in your lifetime?
Until I was a Bitcoiner, zero. I got asked one time, and I used to work at a golf course, the Deerfield Golf Course. You're technically the Deerfield Golf Club. You may be familiar. I worked there for 7 years, and when I was there, one of the guys reached out, and or it was after actually because Mount Gox was like 2011 or 13 or something like that. So it was after that, but it was a guy I met working at the golf course. He reached out and he said, "Did you hear about this Bitcoin exchange? And do you have any relation to this guy?" And I said, "I have no idea. A very uncommon last name." He
It's
did
a
have an
very when I saw it, I thought to myself, it can't be. This can't be.
yeah,
Can't be related.
I know. And so to that point, he had an accent in his name. I actually reached out to my great uncle who passed away a couple of years ago. But at the time I reached out to him, it's Uncle Dave. He's traced our history back many centuries and tried to figure out where we originated from and all this stuff. So he knows everything. He's got the family tree and all these people we've never heard of who we're connected to, blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Are we related to this guy at all?" He said, "No, he's French. We don't have any connections in France, and
He
he's got
is
an
French,
access.
I will say.
Yeah, he's got an accent in his name. We don't have that. No familial connection." So, and it's funny because it was kind of the last time I thought about that, and then 5 years later, 4 years later, whatever it was, started getting into Bitcoin, and then I began to get questioned all the time if I was related to Mark Karpeles or Karpeles or however he pronounced his name.
I don't know how he pronounces it, but
Yeah.
the good news is, it sounds to me like most of the people from Mount Gox got their money back, even though they kind of got a little screwed because they got paid back in dollars, and
Hmm.
since then Bitcoin went up a little bit. We've all seen that. So, but shout out to Mark. I'm sure he's on to bigger and better things. God knows it can't be any bigger and better than Mount Gox, which was humongous at the time.
Yeah, it was an absolutely massive story. I mean, and that was one of those things where if you hadn't heard about Bitcoin, you were going to hear about Bitcoin. Unfortunately, it was in a negative light and that sort of thing. But that was a national or international story rather. I mean, that was huge news.
Well, I don't think it was really a negative light as much as it was just a learning experience. It was at such an early stage for Bitcoin that self custody, really became a big thing, and everyone should really understand that if you don't have the private keys, it's really not your Bitcoin. And self custody became such a big thing after Mt. Gox, and that was actually a good thing. People are now taking self custody of their Bitcoin, and that's absolutely the best thing that came out of that. And to be honest with you, I'm glad it happened to Mt. Gox back then, because I mean, it was at such an early stage that the industry was able to grow from it.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning point, and in all of these situations, unfortunately, we had multiple of these in the future of exchanges going the same way. Mount Gox,
BitConnect got hit once. Yeah, the other big one,
FTX, and
well, FTX, that wasn't a hack. That was straight up.
well, Mount Gox wasn't either. They just didn't have the coins they said they had, and
Well,
so
here's what really happened. They
yeah,
had an employee that
yeah,
went into the cold storage and emptied out the cold storage.
right, right,
So they had the coins, but they had somebody emptying it out, and they had poor security. Now, my friend Mike Belshi runs a company called BitGo, which now does multi-sig wallets, 3 signatures to release funds. That was a big win that came out of that, because Mike and his company were formed because of situations like Mt. Gox.
yeah. I won't. There's other companies out there doing it. Out of respect for your friend, I won't pitch their names here, but
No,
there's
go
a
ahead.
couple.
Pitch me. I mean,
Yeah, so I mean, you have Unchained that's doing it as well, Thea that's doing it as well. There's another company out there doing it as well, but it's been great, and that's ultimately right where this goes. Is someone starts doing it, then there's competition that enters the space, and then we get the best product out of it, which is a good thing, because let's be honest, it was a problem. People couldn't trust a centralized exchange to hold their funds. Then the other option was self custody, which is a great option and what I recommend everyone do, and you should learn it. But it does take some personal responsibility. It does take some careful planning, but some people are just straight up unwilling to do that. I'm not really going to fight human nature and people being lazy.
I'll be honest with you, I like having self custody, because
Of course,
anytime you don't have self custody of your own assets, you're always going to have that thought in your mind going, what happens if, what happens if? And if you look, like you look at, this is probably a great example. Look at what the United States and all the countries did when Russia went into Ukraine. They literally went into these oligarchs' accounts and took billions of dollars from them, took their yachts, took their boats. And I'm thinking to myself, if you don't have self custody of your money, the government can always take it whenever they want. That was
yeah,
proven back then. And if they could take a guy's $500 billion, you don't think they can take your like $1,000 or $10,000? They'll
yeah.
snatch that from you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if you're leaving it with a third party custodian or third party custodians, it's grabbable, it's seizable. And if you don't have control of it, if you don't have a plan or have multi-sig seed phrases in different jurisdictions or different locations at the very least, you're subject to the whims of government overreach and leaning on people, which is why we try not to recommend those services. But some people just say, "Listen, I want those services. I don't want to hold the keys. I recognize the counterparty risk. I recognize the seizure risk. I understand. I'm willing to take all those risks, and this is how I want to get set up." And that's fine. There's a product for those people, and that's okay. And some people will store their Bitcoin that way. And again, more options. I always say more options are better. So as long as people have an array of options that they can choose from when they know the trade-offs and they aren't being lied to or being sold a bill of goods about those trade-offs, then that's fine. That's great. More products, more options, the better.
I couldn't agree with you more. So talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you're doing in 2026. What are things that you want to do that you want people to know about?
So at Sovereign, we help onboard businesses to Bitcoin. We can start at education, start at implementation, we can start at integration. Wherever you are on your Bitcoin journey, we'll help you along there. And our focus has been on business owners. Really, we're open to working with anyone, nonprofits, HOAs, churches,
Oh God,
and any.
HOA.
I'm the president of mine. Don't even get me started. They're the
Well,
worst.
I'll tell you right now, I on purpose go and buy property away from HOAs because I've never had a good experience with those people. Those people are cuckoo. By
That's
the way,
exactly what I'm going to do. And listen, I don't want to be president. I was forced to be the president because everyone else is a lazy sack of crap in my building. So someone
well,
had to do it, and if I didn't do it, we'd our building might not be standing right now if I didn't take over as
well,
president. So
I had a house inside of an HOA here when I moved out here to Vegas, and it was a new construction. I didn't think nothing of it, and then the HOA was driving me cuckoo. So one time I said, okay, fuck it. I'm going to go to one of these meetings and see what the fuck is going on. And I go there, and it's inside like I want to say like the clubhouse of our subdivision. And there's nobody there. And some black girl comes in, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, are you Lucy or whatever her name was? Because I had been talking to somebody. She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I'm the guy that's been calling you all week. So let's get the meeting started. She's like, oh, nobody ever shows up to these things. She's like, we don't have meetings. I just do this so that I can get my paycheck. So then I started like doing due diligence, and they were paying that girl 80 grand a year out of the HOA to every 3 months go and hang out at the clubhouse for 2 minutes and then get the fuck out.
I don't get paid anything. So this is purely volunteer. Yeah,
that was just the beginning of the fucking. I was doing my own Doge and experiment to the HOA. So I went door to door and told all my neighbors. I said, listen, I found all these fucking things here. We're going to get rid of all these, and we're going to drop our HOA from $154 to $12, and that's enough that we, keep the gate going and we keep the pool cleaned, and we're good. And everyone was like, "We're going to go from 154 to 12." I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to fire this girl. We're going to get rid of this crap." Like they were spending money like it was cuckoo.
Yeah, it just became a slush fund for people.
Yeah. So finally, the one meeting comes up. I got 50 people in the clubhouse, and she comes and she goes, "What's going on?" I said, "We're having a meeting tonight." She's like, I'm not prepared. I'm like, I am. So I told you about this. I sent you it. We're the HOA. We are the HO. I felt like the guy on the boat. I'm the captain now. Yeah. So we got rid of her. We got rid of a bunch of expenses. Didn't get it down to $12. Got it down to like $34. But yeah, like she was not a happy camper. She worked for like an HOA management company.
Sure.
So they reassigned her to some other job. I'm sure she got paid less, but yeah, I was like, I had everyone, I followed all the rules. We wrote everything in. And then they're like, oh, do you want to be the HOA president? I'm like, no, fuck no. And then my buddy's wife did it, and she wanted to do it. And yeah, she loved it. She got paid I want to say she got paid 12 grand a year, $1,000 a month. So we reduced that from 80 to 12. And when I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck? The pool cleaner was making $136,000 for a shitty little pool, no spa. And I thought to myself, the fuck is he doing for 136 grand?
That's some nice grift jobs right there.
Well, the good news is they weren't all Somalian-owned pool cleaners.
Well, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were just as unscrupulous. That's for sure.
Well, I think when it comes to like HOAs and politics, the amount of money laundering you can uncover if you just take a magnifying glass to it is amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's brutal. I had to go through. I have to do all the finances myself. Everything. It sucks. So.
Well, there's some HOAs down in Miami. I'm not kidding you. Like I saw this on the news. I can't even believe it's true. Where like these people that own a condo inside one of the Miami buildings, they got hit this year. I really can't believe it's true. It was like some insane number, like 170 grand assessment. And it's because they have to like do something to the whole building, like new roof or new foundation. I don't even know what they have to do. But I thought to myself, if I owned a condo in that building in Miami, and they said, listen, buddy, you're not only, by the way, their HOA fee was like $900 a month anyhow. So they got 170. It was called like, it wasn't like an HOA fee. It was like a one-time.
Yeah, one-time special assessment.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, 170 grand. Like, there's no benefit to owning a condo. By the way, when you own a condo, you don't own shit. You like you own, like an apartment.
Yeah, you don't. That being said, if you are an HOA and want to stack some Bitcoin, we would still want to talk to you. So that aside, I mean, we're basically, our clientele are basically people who have some portion of their balance sheet in cash reserves and need a better money to save in because you cannot save in the US dollar because it is being rapidly debased. And even if it's slowly being debased, you still want a better money and a harder money And that's where Bitcoin comes in as an
I think
option
the US
to.
dollar is ready to base it. There's no turning back.
No,
My hope was that Trump and Elon could fix it a little bit. We are so screwed as a country. There are people in charge. Like, first of all, the Federal Reserve, let's get rid of those fuckers right now. They're a Federal Reserve Corporation. Fuck those guys. Why the fuck did we give them $3 billion to read? You know what you can build for $3 billion? I mean, they're building a building. Like $3 billion? Are you kidding me?
I mean, why we even gave them a charter in 1913 is the
Well,
real
why
crime.
are we giving them
But
$3 billion to build their own building? They make interest. They're literally the most profitable corporation ever.
of course, they can print their own money to build their building. Why do they need our tax? The whole thing's a scam. The whole thing's a racket. So that's just another part of the value proposition of Bitcoin is getting yourself extracted from this system, taking sovereignty over your money, having control over your money, and holding a money that can't be debased by these psychopaths that just print money at will, and whenever they decide it, they're going to steal from us via inflation. So inflation's just a savings tax is all it is. So it's no different than an income tax or property tax. It's a savings tax.
Well, let's be honest. They don't even have to steal it through inflation. They're just flat out stealing it. They're money laundering the fuck out of our tax dollars. Like this whole thing we're seeing in Minnesota. Well, it just so happens that it's happening in California, Ohio, Boston. Like they use this whole daycare thing as a revolving money laundering scam. And all we have to do is follow where the money went to and start arresting some of these politicians that were a part of this. Because there's no way somebody's going to explain to me that a Somalian who has an average IQ of 67, which is slightly above a mosquito, can literally figure out how to money launder that much money.
Yeah, there's professionals that go in. The whole system is an entire grift. And again, this is the huge value proposition of Bitcoin, is being able to extricate yourself from that system, to give yourself protection against that system so you're not subject to the whims of all this fraud, theft, money printing, inflation, whatever you want to call it. It's a corrupt, evil system that it's a parasitic system that sucks the time and energy out of people, and we are forced to earn in money that they can print for free. I mean, how does that system moral, ethical, sane on any level? It's of course it's not. It's when you frame it like that, of course it's evil, of course it's sick. And so the only option you have, I mean, in the past we had gold, silver, things like this to protect your purchasing power into the future, but Bitcoin is just an infinitely better version of those forms of money. And here we are, we have this opportunity to insulate ourselves from the problems of that system.
I got something I want to throw at you. I've been working on a book, and I do believe in science fiction. I'm a big science fiction guy. I'm a big conspiracy theorist guy. Yes, I know. It takes 6 months for conspiracy theories to become true, but they're true, like 99% of the time. I actually think that time travel is possible. The theory of time travel is possible. You just have to be able to you have to figure out a way to travel fast enough to go back in time. Now, I actually think wormholes have something to do with time travel, because nobody can tell me what's in the inside of a wormhole. They just know that it's there. Well, I'm thinking if you go in it, you might actually travel in time. I actually think, and I'm not kidding you, I actually think somebody gave Bitcoin back to humanity as a gift to allow human beings to separate themselves from the insanity of the financial system as we see it today.
Listen, I'm a big tinfoil hat guy. I believe in all
my
sorts
guy,
of crazy
my
stuff.
guy.
I'm open to anything at this point. I like anything's on the table. What's the quote that Hollywood is their job is to fictionalize reality. So a lot of the stuff we see, the sci-fi or Hollywood, that I think there's a tinge or a lot of truth to a lot of this stuff. And we're supposed to be told it's fictional, or eat your popcorn and watch.
Hey, by the way,
Netflix,
what time is it over there?
It's 2:40 my time. So
okay, so we're officially right now at this moment in time 6 months away from the Terminator. Just so you know.
Very nice. Okay, we'll see what happens. But I mean, to that point,
It's either Terminator or iRobot. I'm pretty sure like those robots that Elon's building, they somehow eerily look just like the iRobot guys.
yeah. Well, I'm also a big believer in the old world stuff, that there was a much more advanced civilization and there was a global cataclysm a few hundred years ago and we're being reset. So maybe the technology already existed, and they're just giving it back to us now. For me, anything is on the table. It is.
Well, by the way, have you ever
Yeah.
played around with some of the AI platforms like ChatGPT or Grok?
Sure. Yeah.
So one night I'm just fucking around, I'm bored out of my mind, and I literally ask it a very detailed prompt. Is time travel possible? And if so, how? Ask that question to Grok one day. When you see the answer, you'll be like, holy fuck.
Yeah, again, Bitcoin is so mind blowing. Once you're 100 hours, 1,000 hours down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, it's absolutely mind blowing how incredible of a invention, discovery, whatever you want to call it, this was. And there's been people working on a Bitcoin like uh, discovery for 50 plus years, and there's been hash cash and there's been e-cash and there's been
remember e-gold?
e-gold, yeah, all this stuff.
So
But
right before Satoshi popped up out of the blue, e-gold got shut down by the,
Sure.
I want to say FBI or the federal government.
yeah,
But do you know the difference between e-gold and Bitcoin? There's only one difference.
it's the difficulty adjustment. Well, I mean, it's a decentralized network, as opposed to a centralized network, which was the problem
Exactly.
with e-gold. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I actually think whoever was involved in e-gold had some sort of fingerprints to create Bitcoin because it literally launched right after e-gold. And the only major difference is instead of having central servers located in Nashville, Tennessee, they literally said, hey, we're not going to do this shit again. Let's decentralize this shit.
Well, and the difference too. I mean, the e-gold in theory was backed by literal gold as well, but again, that's a centralizing point of failure. Whereas Bitcoin is its own monetary protocol as well, which is also one of the insane, mind-blowing things, that it's a monetary network, the monetary unit, and it enforces its own monetary protocol. And so, like those, that right there is just a complete
Definitely from
mind
the
melter.
Definitely. Satoshi had to be from the future.
When I think about the actual what Bitcoin is, what it does, how it functions, it truly does seem impossible. Like, it seems surreal that this was able to be created.
Do you use Strike at all? The platform
Sure.
called Strike.
Yeah, of course. That's
One
where
thing that I love about Strike is the Lightning Network. I love Lightning.
Lightning's awesome. I mean, I prefer to, do self-custody Lightning. Strike is probably the best wallet for non-self-custodial Lightning.
How can you do self-custody Lightning? Use a Casa node?
I just use the Phoenix wallet for me personally. I experimented with running my own node and all that. I run a Bitcoin core node, but the Lightning
How do you run
node,
it through Casa?
the core node. No, my Lightning. I just use the Phoenix app on my phone for my Lightning wallet.
No, I know, but you run a core node, right?
Yeah. I just have an old laptop, and I just.
Oh, you turn the laptop into a node?
Yes, yeah. So you just download Bitcoin Core onto an old laptop, and then you got a node. So
okay, this is how geeky this conversation is getting. Here's an old Casa node that I still have sitting on my desk working.
Nice. Well, listen, I got no problem with the plug and play nodes too. Those are a good solution for people that want to do it. I like the solution of an old laptop because it has no record of my purchase or anything like that, and you don't have to sign it. It's completely anonymized, and you can store a ton of data on there. You can even hook up an external hard drive, so you can kind of refresh into the future as the blockchain grows and as you need more digital storage. You can keep going up and up and up and just have a bigger and bigger external hard drive to store the blockchain on. So I kind of like that prop.
It blows my mind to this day how the blockchain is literally still being stored on all these miners, and there's just so much data. Like, the blockchain is an amazing amount of data. Like, the ledger is insanely large.
Yeah, it's around a it's around a terabyte of data right now. So if you multiply how many people are running nodes by a terabyte, I guess that's how much Bitcoin network data is being stored right now. So
Awesome. All right,
yeah.
so I like to end all my interviews with something inspirational. I want you to look into the camera on your end for a quick second and talk to one person watching this, just one, and inspire them to get involved in literally storing Bitcoin as a way to store their wealth.
So, speaking from my own personal experience, Bitcoin will completely change your life. It will reframe everything, and you can start with the smallest amount. You can do $5 a week, $10 a week, $20 a week, 5 cents a week. Just start buying some every week, start storing it, and you will watch your life change. Your time preference will get lower. You'll start to value things more in your life. You will realize that you're not on a never ending hamster wheel, that there's an end in sight. That if I keep stacking sats, keep buying Bitcoin, and I do it for 5 years, 10 years, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't have to work until I'm 75, putting money in some 401k and pray that it's enough to allow me to go do not even necessarily retire, but go do what I want to do with my time. And as you start buying Bitcoin, as you start storing it yourself, as you start learning more about it, slowly but surely, that light at the end of the tunnel gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and you can see yourself in a future where you're in charge, you have autonomy and control over your life, and you get to do what you want as opposed to being at the whims of some sort of corporate structure or terrible entry level job just trying to get by to pay the bills. And you start to see the world differently, and you start to reframe how you view life. All of a sudden, 10 years from now looks beautiful as opposed to 10 years of drudgery that are ahead of you.
I couldn't have said it any better. Answer me this. Tell me 3 people you'd like to see me interview next that I can tag in this video.
3 people.
I've already reached out to Satoshi. He's kind of weird. He doesn't return my emails. I mean, whether he comes back or not from whatever time slot he's in, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
I will. Do you want it to be in the Bitcoin space, or can it be anybody?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Okay.
Unless they're an HOA president. I don't know if that conversation.
No. I mean, I'm not going to give you some impossibility or something like that. I've been a longtime listener of Adam Carolla. He's just one of my favorite personalities.
Comedian?
The comedian, yeah.
I love his podcast. He's a great podcaster.
Yeah, so I think that would be a really cool one.
All right, so if I get him, what question would you want me to ask him?
Have you looked into Bitcoin? Have you studied Bitcoin at all?
I'd be willing to bet the answer to that will surprise you. I guarantee you. I think he's on the same plane.
I think he's looked into it, and he just needs to go deeper. I think it would be a cool, starting point for
get his podcast treasury in Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Or he used to be on the Fountain app. He's no longer on the Fountain app. He could have claimed that podcast on the Fountain app, and I guarantee he would be getting value for value. People would stream in Bitcoin. People would pay him sats. I know I would be like.
Fountain app? I actually don't even know what that is.
So the Fountain app is a podcasting 2.0 app where it just takes RSS feeds, it populates them into the app, and once you get a profile on there, you get a Bitcoin wallet, and you can send value for episodes you really liked, and you can. It's called. Yeah, exactly. It's called boosting on there. So you can boost an episode. You can even stream sats. So for like every minute you're listening to an episode, you send the podcast 10 sats. So it's like I listen to an hour podcast. That's 60 minutes times 10. That's 600 sats that the show gets streamed from me while I listen to the show. So
that's actually genius. I'm surprised Rumble hasn't done that because they got a lot going on with Bitcoin through their investment from the guys over at Tether.
Well, they just implemented Bitcoin into the Rumble app or the Rumble platform rather for tips. It's only on chain right now. They're working on Lightning, but the really cool thing about Fountain is it is Lightning and it's audio too. So you can just listen to like you would a podcast and then send value.
All right, so Adam Carolla, give me 2 other ones. That'd
be a really good one. Yeah, Mark Karpeles, that would be a wild one. He's kind of making the rounds right now, and I'm gonna talk to him as well. But Jeff Booth is a guy that
Oh, I
just
like Jeff.
I just think he's like one of the best thinkers out there, and he just
He
really
does a lot
he
of stuff. He
yeah.
advises whatchamacallit, Michael Saylor, doesn't he?
That I don't know. I'm not sure what Michael's relationship. Well, I don't know if Jeff advises Michael because I think Jeff would have a little different custody setup for Mr. Saylor than the one he purports to have for
I'll be
his
honest with you, I don't
company.
even know
So
what their custody looks like over
it's
at.
all Coinbase. So
Oh, is it?
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. I thought they used other people also.
And then another guy I really liked that one of those people that really changed my thinking on things that kind of blew my mind on stuff was a guy named Alan Farrington. If you've heard of him,
No.
he's a I think he's Scottish. Don't He's from the UK for sure, and he wrote a book called Bitcoin is Venice, and that book to me it maybe it's not the most informative or the most easy to understand or the most knowledge dense, but it was the most impressive Bitcoin book I've ever read. Like it was hitting on really, really deep concepts and stuff that I've never thought about from the view of someone in the financial markets, from mathematics, culture, all of these things all tied into Bitcoin. And in a sane world, that book would have won a Pulitzer or whatever the best book of the year prize is. I forget with a
I don't know
Nobel.
if it's
No,
Pulitzer, but it's probably no.
I
Actually, I
think
don't know.
Pulitzer's reporting Nobel's like the Peace Prize scam, and then there's another one for whatever it is. But that book absolutely blew my mind, and I think talking to Alan Farrington would be really cool.
Where's he out of? Is he in the States
I
or?
I, I think he's in Scotland. So
Oh,
yeah,
well, I'll be honest with you. Those are three good calls. I think all
yeah.
three of those guys would be awesome to talk to. Listen, we got to chop it up again soon. Are you going down to Wall Street Bets by chance, the live event next week?
I am not. So I got a newborn at home. So
Hey,
uh,
congrats, boy or girl?
yeah, boy, well, not, he's actually turning 1 next week, so he's kind of out of newborn stage.
He's still
But
shitting in his pants.
yeah, he requires a lot of attention. So that's put a damper on a lot of things for sure.
What? What's his name?
Thomas.
Shout out to Thomas.
Yeah. Thomas,
And
hopefully you'll listen to this in 12 years or something and be
give
like,
him,
wow,
yeah,
I did.
give him a Bitcoin stored away. By the time he's 18, he'll be shocked that that thing's not worth $1 million. The
That's the
nice thing
plan.
about Bitcoin that I tell people is it can never over time go down in value.
Yes.
There will be Bitcoin that is lost and never recovered. There will be people that hold on to Bitcoin. The supply is a finite, diminishing supply. You can never see the value not go up over time. It's just
That's
impossible.
that's the elevator pitch. There's a finite amount of Bitcoin and an infinite amount of dollars. So which
Well, I
side do you
always
want to
say,
be on?
everyone always says the finite amount of Bitcoin, which is true. But I always tell people there's a diminishing supply. And I'll tell you why. People lose their keys. People die. Don't make arrangements for their Bitcoin when they die. And it is a diminishing supply. So just
Yep.
like anything else, if it's a diminishing supply, the supply becomes more valuable over time.
No doubt. And listen, they're making an infinite amount of fiat currency units. That's become pretty
Well, I always
obvious
tell
to
people,
everyone. So
if you
yeah,
measure Bitcoin in dollars, and dollars is run by crazy people, and Bitcoin is run by mathematics, you just have to bet on the math. The
of course.
crazy people don't even know economic math.
The
Like
fact,
huh?
I was going to say the fact that the dollar is centrally planned and Bitcoin is not. That's, I mean, that why would you opt into a system that's being centrally planned when you could opt into a system that is not being centrally planned?
Well, not only that, but I mean, anybody that has any brain cells whatsoever can see that the people in charge of the US dollar are corrupt at their core and crazy on some level. Like
Oh,
they have no concept of economic value. The fact
they're
that they print this money out of thin air, like even the way they just expand our budget, our deficit every year, you keep thinking to yourself, if these fuckers ever ran like a McDonald's or a Burger King, that fucking place would never be able to pay its employees.
It'd be have gone through bankruptcy about 800 times already. So
I mean, the eventuality is the U.S. dollar is going to burn in flames. It probably already has. I'll give you one last story, and this is interesting. A buddy of mine went to get money out of his bank to play in a tournament, a cash poker tournament here in Vegas. Not a lot of money, not a lot, $60,000. Thought, no problem, the game is tomorrow. I'm going to go to the bank today, make sure I have cash to go play. Not a lot of money. He banked at a bank run by a guy named Jamie Dimon. I won't say the name of the bank, but that retarded bank, he had to go to 7 different branches just to get $60,000 cash. The average branch had less than $10,000 cash at all on any given day.
I remember when I went to go pay for my wife's wedding ring and go get cash out. I was an employee of this bank, and I got interrogated. I got sat down in a room. Do you really, it was like, what is going on here? And of course, we, as a Bitcoiner, I know that the money in the bank isn't actually mine. It's the bank's money, and I have an IOU. And if they decide not to give it to me, I'm out of luck. Ask the Lebanese citizens how that went.
Oh my God, that's crazy. They had to go into the bank with machine guns and say, "Give me my money back."
Yeah, if they were lucky enough to even get their money back, many of them were just SOL, and that was the end.
Look at the people in Greece; they can only take $60 a week out of an ATM.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's crazy. I mean, they did it in Russia when we put the sanctions on Russia. Happened in countless South American and Central American countries as their currencies go to zero. That's one of the last things they do is limit.
Got to give mad props to the guy from El Salvador.
Yeah, Bukele. Yeah,
that's a guy I got to interview. I bet you him and I sit down and chop it up. We talk about getting rid of judges, building that CCOT prison. That guy, he is a no fuck around guy. If we could use him in America for like 8 years.
Oh gosh,
I don't like that guy president in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he's great. He's done an incredible job. I mean, I used to professionally, I would do turnaround work, restructuring work for a financial institution, and that he would have won what we call in the business turnaround of the year for sure, no doubt about it. God.
Yeah. El Salvador is beautiful, crime-free, gorgeous, well-run. I've got friends that are down there right now setting up their home. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah,
and
it's beautiful.
If you buy I think it's like if you buy $400,000 worth of real estate down there and keep it for, I want to say like 3 years, you get citizenship.
Citizenry, yeah.
Yeah, which I'll be honest with you, the houses down there on the beach, you know what 400 grand gets you down in El Salvador? I mean, you get a mansion. You get absolutely gorgeous. And the people there are nice. The only thing you have to do is learn a little bit of Spanish. And you just got to kind of learn Spanish.
No es un problema. Español es fácil.
Yeah, like, ¿qué pasa?
Yeah, exactly.
I got restaurants by por favor, agua.
Yeah. Una otra cerveza, por favor.
No cerveza. I've been sober 16 years. I drank all my drinks in the beginning of my life. The end of my life, I'm just going to say, listen, my tab is full.
You front loaded them. That's fine.
Exactly. Brandon, tell me 3 things you liked about this podcast.
I enjoyed the kind of sort of just free flow. I enjoyed chopping it up. I enjoyed the free flow that we kind of touched on a whole range of topics all over the place. But at the end of the day, they had kind of a central theme that came back to money and broken money and what having an honest money will restore into society, why that's important. I enjoyed our discussion about Chicago, and I always like talking about Chicago and the city, even though you are 100% right. There's all sorts of problems here. It's there's still just a special place in my heart for the place I grew up. And
I loved Chicago growing up, but like when I hear about, like my buddy's got a $750,000 condo right on Ogden and Grand. It's right across from that big health club. God, what's the name of that? What's that super nice health club there? It's
Lifetime Fitness, maybe?
No, not Lifetime. Maybe it's a Lifetime now. Used to be a super nice one. It was right on Ogden as you go right into the city. It's right off of North.
I know exactly. It's right across from It's right across from the Twisted Spoke.
Twisted. Well, okay, Twisted Spoke. If you go a little bit down the
Yeah,
street
yeah,
on River Road.
yeah. I know what
So
you're talking about.
is
Yeah.
that River Road? No, Grand
No,
Avenue.
it's
Grand.
yeah.
So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
it,
My buddy just moved from that location, so we would frequent the Twisted Spoke. They just closed though
right,
recently.
they did. Oh
Yeah,
my
and
God, the food was
I,
there amazing. They
food
had
was so
great
great. Yeah,
hamburgers.
yeah. Food. Oh, I always got the Wagyu burger every time I went
Oh
in
my
there.
God, they were so, and they didn't
Yeah.
cheat you. They gave you like a lot of
No.
meat, and the
Yeah.
buns were like fresh.
But they gave you. I know you don't drink anymore, but they gave you great pours there too. They didn't. Yeah, measure it out and chintz you for every
Who
job.
owned that place was I want to say the son for Einhorn. One of Einhorn's kids owned it.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I want to say it was Eddie or Mike Einhorn.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
But yeah, we would go in there all the time. My buddy lived over there, so anytime
they
I was
got
seeing
rid of
him, we'd
it.
go in there.
That
What?
was an icon. I remember
Yeah.
the skeleton riding the bike. The bike
Of course,
twisting.
that was still there. Oh yeah, still there.
Wait, they got rid of it or somebody bought it?
They just closed it. I'm actually
What? Oh
yeah.
my God, that's criminal.
Yeah.
That place was amazing.
Well, we went in there and they were getting rid of all their inventory. It was
What?
yeah,
How did they close? That place
I don't know.
expanded. They had like that little outdoor area now.
Yeah, well, they had the rooftop too, which was really cool. And
Oh, I didn't even see the rooftop. Oh my
yeah,
God, how could they close that place? That place was an icon.
I agree. It was devastating. It was. It
I gotta
sucked.
say,
Yeah.
that place had to be there for, it had to be like 30 years, right?
Oh, at least
Yeah.
probably longer. Yeah.
No way. That's
Yeah.
such a, what are they doing? What are they putting a parking lot there or something?
I actually don't know. I don't know what the plan is for the space.
Yeah, I don't even know how that's possible. That's cuckoo. Like
Yeah.
they must have got their tax bill and said, "Boys, we're shutting the place down." Way to go, Brandon Johnson! You shut down the Twisted Spoke, best burger in the city.
It was the food there truly was great. Loved going there before going to the Salt Shed too to catch a concert as well. So
To the where?
it's new actually. It's on Elston. It's called the Salt Shed. It's probably a half mile from the Twisted Spoke and really cool venue that they have
Like
an
a
indoor.
bar or a music bar?
It's a concert venue. So
Where? By United Center?
no, on Elston, like just a few blocks north of Grand. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's a venue?
Yeah, it's
How
an
many
outdoor and an indoor venue. So in the winter they do indoor, and then in the summer they do outdoor. It's really cool.
That is, I mean, that is cool. Yeah, but
Yeah,
oh my God, they got rid of Twisted Spoke. Oh my God. Like, I literally don't think I have a reason to go back to Chicago now. That's crazy.
yeah,
I hit that place every single time. That
yeah.
place was amazing.
It
When did it
was.
close? Like in the last year or last
And
week?
October 31st was its last day. So end
No,
of
oh my
October.
God, that's
Yeah,
so horrible.
I
They got
know.
their tax bill. See what you guys did? You
I
taxed the fucking Twisted Spoke out of town.
Probably true.
Did they
Probably
put it
true.
somewhere else? Maybe they put it in the burbs or something?
No, it's closed. But yeah, I
Oh,
don't know what's next for that
okay.
location, but
If somebody's watching this, can you just find the chef that made all the food there and just ask where he went to? Because I'll go to wherever that guy went to.
yeah, I agree. The food there was 10 out of 10.
Oh, it was so
Yeah.
good, so good, and the ambiance, it just had a great vibe, great feel. Oh my God, that was an icon.
Oh, I love that place. That was a great spot.
Oh my God! All right, here one last thing. Top 3 food places in all of Chicago, including the burbs.
So I'm an RPM steak guy. I know that might be sacrilege because it is
What's RPM? What does that mean?
it's a steak place, but it's a Let Us
Sure.
Entertain You steak place. So there
Oh, if it's
are
Let
other
Us Entertain
locations.
You, they crush it. Like
Yeah.
Let Us Entertain You. Shout out to who's the guy that runs Lettuce? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Oh, long story short, all his properties are phenomenal.
So to me, RPM steak,
Where's
that's
that
the best.
located?
That's in River North. So
River North. Okay.
Kinsey
I
and
know where
Clark,
Kinsey is.
basically. Yeah.
Kinsey and Clark?
Yeah.
Oh, right
basically.
by the I want to say the that building Marina
Kinsey.
Towers. Right by Marina Towers.
Yeah. Kinsey
maybe
and
2 blocks.
Dearborn. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Okay, I could go hit that place. All right, give me 2 more.
Bavette's. I mean, that's just an absolute staple.
What
That's
is
a
it?
class. It's called Bavette's.
Where's that at?
That's in River North as well.
What kind of food?
Steakhouse.
Fuck! I don't even know either one of these places.
Yeah, it's like an old school 1920s lounge vibe, and it's place is incredible. Uh,
And then third one.
I'm gonna give another one. It's not the best, but it's one of my favorite spots, and that's a place up by me in Uptown called Sunwa Barbecue, and they do a deep fried duck in there, and it's just absolutely delicious. And so
When
my
you say
wife and
Sunwa barbecue, is that Korean barbecue?
it's Chinese, yes, Chinese barbecue. Yep.
I do. How are the Chinese barbecue ribs?
Oh, dude, my wife gets them every single time.
Okay, so I got to tell you something. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of the place. There's a place here in Vegas. I wish I knew the name. If somebody knows it, please put it in the comments. They have barbecue ribs. It's an Asian place. They have barbecue ribs, and it uses a pear barbecue sauce. Pear. Like they smash the pears or do something with it. Fucking the best. Like they give you like 6. They ration like 6 little ribs. They put 3 on one side, 3 on top, and you eat them like super quick. And you eat them. I could go through 50 of those fuckers. They're that good.
So good. I love Sunwa. So that's just a place we love going. We really like. It's not it's not it's it actually may have a Michelin star. I actually don't know. But it's incredible, really good, and it's walking distance from my place. So that one's near and dear to my heart.
Well, my buddy Kai Novak, who I went to high school with, has a place. If you haven't visited yet, just put it on your list of places to go before you die. Go to Fireplace Inn and
Oh,
get
I know Fireplace.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Now, got to tell you something. This is a secret. They don't tell anyone this. They take their ribs and they boil them in these big boilers first, and then they shellac them with the sauce, and then they cook them in the this rotary whatever barbecue grill.
The rotisserie. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. It's got like the cages and
Exactly. And then they pull it out once it's blackened and all that stuff. Because they boil them, when you pick up the bone, it's like they just literally falls right off the bone.
yeah.
That's what in Chicago.
That's what Twin Anchors does too. If you
Where's
know
Twin
that
Acres?
stuff. Twin Anchors is like Armitage and Clark, I want to say.
Why does that sound like a beer place?
I mean, it's like an old school Chicago bar. They got like ribs and beers, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like ribs and beer.
That's kind of what
We got
they're
a
known
place
for.
here in Vegas called Twin Peaks. You ever go to Twin Peaks?
I know what it is. I have not actually been to one though.
It's like Hooters without
Yes.
Hooters,
Yes.
but definitely Hooters.
Yes. But for like steaks, right? Or
Everything. Like they have great across the wall. Their food is like good. It's bar food. I wouldn't call it like really super good, but it's a solid 4.5. You look at a Fireplace Inn, you get their ribs. That's a rock solid 5. I mean, you've had the ribs over at Fireplace Inn, right?
yeah.
I mean, seriously, no joke. Tell everyone.
Yeah. No, they do. But I maybe be a little controversial here. I actually like a little pull to my ribs. I like a little stickiness.
Okay, so I would say I agree with you, but theirs are sticky, and the meat just like comes right off the bone because they boil it first, and the bone so you can literally pull out all the bones, and then you got basically McRib all over your plate, except delicious McRib.
Yeah, except real meat.
How the fuck did you fuck that up? Bring the McRib back. That's a travesty right there.
Sure is.
Well, listen, I think we're going to end a call. We might as well just end a podcast interview, which is food recommendations. And I think if there's anybody that's watching this that's near Chicago, they're going to go through that 33-degree below zero temperature this weekend, and they're going to find one of these food joints and just eat.
I want my wife.
You just got to eat.
My wife and I went to RPM on the coldest day of the year, like 2 years ago. It was -15. We had a reservation at another restaurant, and the guy actually closed it. He's like, I can't keep the place warm enough to have people dine in here comfortably. So we're closing. We tried to call you to tell you your reservation's canceled. And then we ended up going over to RPM and had a Wagyu prime rib. That's one of the best things I've ever had in my life. So
Wagyu prime rib.
Yeah.
Why does that sound so fucking delicious?
Because it is.
Did they put like a beef broth?
Yeah, they had the au jus on there for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice crust on it.
Okay, so I got it.
Medium rare. Yeah.
This is gonna fuck people up. but I like my prime rib after they cut it. I like to have them put it on the grill a little bit and grill the sides. I don't know why, and I don't think people know you can actually ask for that, and they will do it. No chef in the world will lose his mind over that. It's a common thing. And there's a place that a buddy of mine, rest in peace, his restaurant's closed now. His name's Joel. He was the chef there, and he would literally cut. I don't think it was Wagyu. It was just regular Angus beef prime rib, but he would go and grill it and bring it back. Oh
just
my
do
God.
just do like a sear on the outside, basically.
Yeah, just give me like the the waffle marks. There's sear at one side, sear at the other side, do it on the other side. Just give me waffle marks. And he had like the au jus, but here's something else that he had. He mixed the au jus with this mushroom paste, and it was like a thicker version of au jus. And it had the hint of A1 sauce, but it was more mushrooms. And he would literally put that on the side in a little side dipping. Oh my God, that, and he would give us béarnaise sauce, and it was good béarnaise.
Yeah, that's the key. Homemade béarnaise, and then I actually like that jus. I don't eat much like flour or carbs or things like that. So I'm always dubious of the like thick au jus, but if it was thickened with mushrooms,
he blends the mushroom, and they become like this, paste, and then he mixes it with au jus, and the au jus has bone broth in it.
Yeah,
and he's like, hey, this is a thicker version. You can put it, and it's like it drips down. It's like drips down, and then I think he adds a little A1 sauce. I'm pretty sure he won't admit to it, but it's got a hint of A1.
A little Worcestershire,
Well, something like it was. It had like it was like a thicker version of A1 with an injection of mushrooms. And if you like steak, you gotta love mushroom. Which, by the way, shout out! I'm hosting a private lunch at the Super Bowl this year at Fogo de Chao. And Fogo, they have these little round, tiny mushrooms that they put in this like sauce. That's delicious.
Big fan of Fogo.
My God!
Love Fogo.
Listen, I've thrown no joke, probably 100 private events at Fogo de Chao, lunches, maybe even a few dinners, and done podcasts there. And I'm not kidding. That franchise, consistent as hell. Their food is always good. Their service is always amazing. I tell people Fogo de Chao is the hidden. Here's the beauty too. They always have parking. Like here in Vegas, if you have to go to a place on the strip, no parking.
Yeah.
But Fogo, it's like a little bit off the strip, like maybe half a mile. Parking. Hey, you can get there. Park.
Beautiful.
Anyways, I've got about 3 places I have to hit in Chicago now. I'm probably going to go and just drop at least a tier right by where Twisted Spoke used to be.
Yeah.
Many cheeseburgers that I will say were probably some of my best cheeseburger experiences ever. Wherever that chef is, I'm going to hunt him down. Hopefully find him making like the same food somewhere else. But yeah, I'm glad we had a chance to chop it up. We got to do this again sometime.
Absolutely, Chris. I would love to come on anytime.
Peace out. All right, Brandon. Hold on.
Peace, brother.
Hold on one second.